Is it salmon? Is that the color?
It's percentage.
This program is brought to you by FanDuel, where we give sports fans the chance to win every day.
Yo. The Pelicans got smoked like a salmon on South Beach. Hold on.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Other things get smoked on South Beach too, but I don't want to start the new year off like that. I ain't potted in a minute, so like I'm happy to be back with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's me and what's up? Yeah, right? Cool. It's me and my dog CC in the building. He hate my jacket for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on with him, but you know what I'm saying? It's me and CC in the building. Shout out to Lala in the background. You already know the best in the business.
The ones and twos.
You know what I'm saying? I think we got some folks though that's gonna be joining us later, but ain't really much to talk about, man. Pelicans start the new year like they ended the old year. So 125, 106 loss by the Pelicans. I guess let me ask you.
7 straight.
7 straight loss?
I believe so.
Fuck, man. Man. What is there anything you can point to tonight that specifically lost you this game?
It's similar things, man. You know, for this team, and when you bad, you know, you got like a box of bad shit that you can pull out at any moment. Some disappear for some games, other games they all, you know, surround you. And today, you know, was in some ways similar to that fast, bro. When you lose 7 straight, I forgot who they even played a couple nights ago. But you know, you go through stretches where you find some rhythm, you tie the game, or you take a lead, you overcome either a hot start or hot shooting, and then you shoot yourself in the foot with bad decisions. You go through stretches where you can't shoot threes, you turn the ball over, untimely shots, untimely turnovers, just things that bad teams typically do, and the Pelicans are elite at it.
If I'd have told you walked into not knowing the score of the Pelicans game, I mean, if that's where you at, like I ain't really trying to take your sobriety away from you. You know what I'm saying? But if I was to tell you the Pelicans not only shot 43s tonight, but they made them at 40%, and they still lost by 19. You say what?
I would say that's I would say that's cool. But considering how bad they're playing defense right now, I would hope that they scored a lot more than 106 points.
Yo, bro, can we address the defensive issue like real fast? Because one person is missing, Chris. One person.
Yep.
You telling me this one person is just so responsible for this entire IQ, not only IQ, but philosophy defensively? One person? Make that make sense to me.
Well, similar, you know what it's like, Lito? I was thinking about this today. It's kind of like what it do for shooting when Trey isn't in the game, when Trey misses a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that one person, because of the way the roster is built and the lack of options that you have in that one of those categories, is so important. It's so important that, you know, it's just it's glaring. Like they have a few guys defensively, like a McGowan. You know, Carlo has his moments, but bro, up and down the roster, you got a bunch of bad defenders, a bunch of defenders that either are impatient, they don't, you know, they lack attention to detail, they're lazy. Herb isn't any of those things. And just like on the other side of the ball, when Trey isn't available from a shooting perspective, what you got? What SVP say? Well, what do we got? It just, so I don't know, man. I mean, it just part of this has to do, unfortunately, with how the roster is set up, the lack of options, and when some of these guys are out of the lineup, they're not in a position right now where they can outthink a team. They're not in a position right now where they can kind of string together, kind of make up for the absence of this player as a group either. It's just, again, I mean, it's what a bad team typically looks like.
Yo, bro, I was talking about this on the timeline. The Pelicans got about 5 impossible real NBA players. Like
5 impossible?
And impossible. If we're trying to get a book together, it's 5 impossible.
Mm-hmm.
This roster is like really devoid of talent. Like I'm saying that in jest, but it sounds funny, but I'm dead ass serious. Like I'm looking at the Heat. Go ahead.
And it's the versatility, as well, but definitely the talent, dog. Like Jaku played 16 minutes tonight. Jaco was talked about being a lottery pick. If Jaco was on the Pelicans right now, we'd be talking about how important he is. He'd be playing 20 plus minutes a game.
Damn, he did play 16 minutes. Wow.
You know what I mean? And like typically, like he's playing as of late. Before that, it was Fontecchio, who was another shooter for them.
Shout out.
But and then you got Jaime Jaquez, who missed the game, and Tyler Hero, who's coming back soon. So it ain't like, I mean, this just now, even when healthy, the Pelicans are relying on guys in that group,
bro.
In that tier of player. Fam, and that's what a disconnect is.
You lost by 19 points, and Jaime didn't play, and Tyler didn't play. So you
Bam didn't play well.
And Bam was lackadaisical out there. Like Bam didn't really give a shit. So you telling me if those two guys play, you lose by 50? I mean, this is man. So hold up. There was a comment I want to talk about. Shout out to Vince, man. Vince said, I don't think we spend enough time talking about how bad Trey is defensively. Vince, they all bad. All of them. He's bad.
We've been talking since his rookie year, though, about his struggles defensively. And it's not even like, like just like with Zion, bro, because him and Zion got similar issues. It's just like, I defend when I want to. I'll defend when I want to. Fundamentals are lost. Defending with your hands, caught out of position. It's ugly.
It's like, look, I was having a conversation with my homie Paco, and you know the other day. Shout out to Paco.
Yeah.
And we was talking about NBA superstars, good and great. Let me ask you, there was a conversation going on about who was better between Shea and Allen Iverson. That's a conversation I walked into.
SGA?
Basketball. SGA.
Okay, gotcha.
SGA and Allen Iverson. What's your answer? Got nothing to do with the show. What's your answer?
Who's better?
The better player? Who's the better player?
SGA.
That was my answer too. And they was kind of looking at me like, what you talking about? So me and Paco was on that side of the argument, and everybody else was just kind of like, they didn't want to pass us the ball no more. It was just kind of like, y'all disrespecting AI, and I'm like, nah, it ain't that.
AI was cold.
Like, AI was AI.
AI did shit that nobody else, as long as we're living, Lito, will do again at that size. It will never happen again.
I agree.
You can't take that away from him. One of the most accomplished scorers that you'll ever see, a dude that's barely 6 feet at it's like Jalen Brunson on steroids, but at a time where hand checking is allowed in the game is much more physical. But is he better than SGA? Unfortunately, no.
So the conversation was, Zion. I'm saying this in jest, but like we was talking about Trey's defense. We talking about defense in general. It's two sides to a court, right? It is. You gotta play on it. If you can score, you gotta go on the other side of the floor. Shout out to Rose, man. Rose in the fucking house. The question is though, how good you want to be, bro? Like, do you just want to be good, or do you want to be great? Because you can just be good. Shout out to Ross. You can just be good. It's all good.
Ross.
You know what I'm saying? But like, if you want to be great, you do the other things. Like, you don't just talk about it. You don't get on podcasts. You don't Instagram it. Like, you go out there, you show up, and you play both sides of the floor. You defend, you rebound. I'm not saying Shea a great defender. I'm just saying he doing the little things to make his team win.
But Lito, that's why we've been having so many of the same conversations over the past few years about the approach to roster building and how teams in this era like approach it and how the Pelicans have approached it, to where we've been asking for the same things for 4 or 5 years now. You've been asking for a stretch 3 big for years. You've been asking for a rim protecting big for years. It don't even have to be elite. Just an option. Yeah, right. just an option, and you haven't seen it. The lack of shooting, the lack of shooting in volume and numbers, like and you having multiple options, even when guys get hurt, has been missing. And I think the struggle with that is like there's certain guys, they don't know what it's like to not have to play with a center, or even at a small level that can protect the rim. Like if Mitchell Robinson was on this team, and that's like Trey would look at Mitchell Robinson like he was Akeem Olajuwon, because that's who he's been. Because he's been playing with, offensive minded, non-athletic, non-defensive bigs consistently. But that doesn't leave him in void of responsibility, because there's still individual things that Trey has been either ignoring, kind of putting to the side, or not doing consistently, that we've been talking about since his rookie year. And we always say, like, guard your yard, control what you can control. Him, Zion, Jordan Poole, some others, they don't do that consistently. So you can only get him bail for so long. Well,
Ross, what's up, man? We it's a lot going on, man. We was talking about who's better between Shea and Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a hell of a conversation, right? We're talking about the Pelicans shooting 43s at 40%, still losing at 19. I think the rebounding battle is 43-43. I see people in the comment criticizing, Fears and Queen and Borrego. Like, where was this game lost for you?
Well, you guys will remember this one because we just talked about it. But I mean, I think we all agreed. We were kind of laughed about it a few nights ago that like a lot of these games are lost in those 5 minutes when Zion goes out. And there was a point midway through the third quarter, I don't know, 5 minutes into the third, maybe.
Keep that.
I think we had made a run, I think, and got it down to maybe 3 or 2, and then it ballooned back up to maybe 8 or 10 or something like that. But it was kind of a back and forth game at that point. Zion comes out, and within 2 minutes, the game's at 20. I'm serious, 2 minutes. It went from 8 to 20 like that when he went out the game. I think they put in Micah for him. And that's it. Like, that's it. Next thing you know, it's 21, 22-point game at the end of the third, and that's it. It's over. Bye. Done. And I don't want to put it all on him, because I think we turned it over a ton. I think Jordan Poole has just been horrific to watch. I mean, just horrific.
Yeah.
There's always enough blame to go around, but it's really interesting to think about, like, well, what if you just don't sub Micah for Zion 5 minutes into the third quarter? Like, what happens? Maybe you still lose the game. I don't know. And Zion can't play 48 minutes. I get that. But I mean, when you start looking at where the game went, I don't know. I mean, and I know it sounded like when I joined, you guys were talking about it. They got to find somebody on this roster that will attempt to play defense. somebody's got to be the leader. There's still like none of these guys are ever going to be elite defenders. I don't even know that any of them are ever going to be good defenders. You still have to give effort. Like you have to give just showing up and giving as much effort as possible in the defensive end. You could be better than this. I think I could have 9 like playing against us, just kind of moving off the ball and some of the threes teams get against us are comical.
Yeah.
Like just comical.
Do you, Chris, you was about to say something?
No.
I was gonna say, do you yeah, Russell, like we were talking about defense, and I'm like, yo, Herb Jones can't be the only person providing any sort of like idea of how to play defense. Bro. Yeah, Michael Peavy can't make a layup to save his life. But he gonna give you attempts, you know what I'm saying, on defense. He's gonna try. Like these dudes, I'm looking at like the rotations on threes, like you were talking about, bro, wide open shit. Just like swing. Nobody either, there's no cross assignment, they're not communicating, nobody's talking out there. Like you don't, I say this shit all the time, man. When JV was here, I could hear JV yelling through my television. I could hear him. Go ahead, Ross.
I agree. Look, I totally agree with you. I've seen better defense played in pickup games with 5 people who don't know each other. Like there's a certain part of it is just having any kind of basketball IQ and putting forth like a little bit of effort, just a little bit. I mean, we get caught asleep, and it's not even a back door. It's just like Justin said. I mean, how many times do we get caught on a peek in? The guy you're guarding moves 2 feet to his right, and that's it. I mean, it's basketball. Swing, wide open 3. This is simple stuff, man. I don't even think we're getting out schemed or anything. I mean, it's not like teams are running plays to get open looks. Just bringing the ball up the court, and we can't guard.
Yeah,
and that's frustrating.
So Ross and Lito, we can welcome 5 to the show. I went to the Bulls game earlier. Was it earlier this week? Yeah, earlier this week. And there were just we've been talking since the preseason about how many times that the team just off of made baskets alone just did not get back collectively, or sometimes even it wasn't even one player back in transition, just getting beat consistently, giving up baskets after makes. But seeing it like in person, it's just insane because they're not even talking.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even communicating through the process. Not on the bench, not and they, it feels like they find stretches in games where they almost decide the game is over.
Yeah,
like they believe, well, this shit over now, and everything just all good or solid or average basketball principles from a team perspective are gone. It's just guys out there trying to get their own or doing things that don't consistently bring you anywhere close to a victory against teams that are playing together. Because the Bulls game, for example, like we keep talking about talent. Bulls had just lost Giddey, just lost Kobe White. Man, you were letting Isaac Okoro take you off the dribble. It was Vucevic and Buzili and what? So that's the team that was just out there just going through the motions. And that's the part that I think for a team that just had won just not too long ago, you blink, won 5 games in a row. That's what's so damning right now.
Shout out to 5, man. My dog. Welcome my dog to the show. I'm gonna just start everybody with this question. 5. I walked in on the conversation that you and know the other day. I was trying to hoop, and they blitzed me with this question before I could even get on the court. Who's a better player, Allen Iverson or Shea?
Allen Iverson.
See what I'm saying? I said Shea, but that's neither here nor there. Yo, go ahead.
You say Shea, why? Because you won an MVP?
No accolades, no accolades at all. It's just Shea had 30. It's a bad game. Like motherfucker, it's a variety of ways he scores the basketball.
Yeah.
You know, he just a tough cover, man. And it's no, this the AI one of my favorites.
Maybe I'm just like in nostalgia, but AI's ability to carry the lackluster talent that he had on that team was insane.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
And to watch it, like I remember like being a kid and watching him like go at Kobe, give the Lakers team 40. Like I can't, like Shea doesn't have to play well for Oklahoma City to be good. Like they don't need him to be like all world to be a good team.
Go ahead, Ross.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, it's a cop out, but like it's so difficult to compare it across eras. It really is. Because I tend to agree with 5. I believe that Iverson was probably the better player, but it's hard to say that when you watch Shea like just effortlessly do what he's done the last couple of years. Like I don't know, shit. Maybe he could have done that anytime, but it's
the MIDI. It's the MIDI, guys.
You know what's really crazy? Like, and Ross makes a good point about errors. Like, dog, they wasn't even shooting threes like that, right? This dude's 6 foot and they playing in a box.
Mm-hmm.
He getting buckets.
Led the NBA in points in the paint.
Like, I just can't. Yeah, Shea's a better. Like, he might be more skilled. If you want to say that, he might be more skilled.
I ain't mad at that.
That's all I got for you.
Now let me ask you this, because you said something that was very interesting to me, bro. You said Allen Iverson could carry a team. Obviously carried them to the finals. Y'all weren't on this. You weren't here yet, but I said this team probably has like 5 and a possible, like actual NBA players on it. Is that an indictment on who the best player on the team is, not being able to carry this team? That's my first question to you. So marinate on that question.
I see what you did.
I'm good at this shit, bro. My second question to you is, after Norman Powell made his 6-3, wouldn't you think somebody would have started guarding him?
That would imply that they guard religiously. That would imply that they regularly guard people. Then, like, this was like the worst matchup the Pelicans could have played against. This team plays fast, and I'm not like saying like, oh, they just get the ball up the court. Like, no, they were like the 6th worst like pace team last year. Now they're the 1st. Like, they changed the way they played based on the roster that they have. And we're like, yeah, we're just going to play very fast, random basketball because we have the players to do it. Not only is it random, we have smart basketball players and they have skill. And we can create space because we have a coach that understands it. So there's a multitude of things going on here. But just going back to the question, Lito, like, yeah, the Pelicans don't guard the 3 anyway.
Oh,
they don't. What about G Grubb? Like, they don't guard the 3 anyway. So this is just like the worst matchup you could ever find for the Pelicans.
Now, let's go back.
Hold on. Wait. Talk about. Let me ask 5 one question. What's a good matchup for the Pelicans right now?
The Pelicans. That about it. Scrimmage. Blue on white. That's all I got.
Man, OG, man, welcome my dog OG to the show, man. Detroit's on. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans is on too. Car product. I see you with that DU sweatshirt, man. Shout out to DU, man. OG, let me ask you a question. If I told you, let's just say I didn't give you a score, but I said the Pelicans made They shot 43s at 40%. The rebounding battle was even. The Pelicans had 8 blocks, and I told you they got beat by 19. You say what?
Yeah, it's like, because I know this team defensively. And, I was listening to 5. It's like, you know what this team is defensively. Like, they are worse defensively than they were last year by rating. But even you just look at it, the 120-point games. This was another 120-point game, right? And they have, I think they're 3-22, 3-23, something like that this season when they give up 120. First of all, that's a terrible record. But second of all, that's way too many games. Like, they're on pace to do it, to give up 120 in something like 60 games this year. In 60 games. Last year, they did it, I think, a total of something like 40 something. So, I mean, it's just an incredible lapse for this team. And it just shows you every night. I mean, even the Heat commentators were talking about it. It's like, there's no resistance. Like, they could just walk into shooting on every possession. And that's every night with this team. And this has been years of this. So it's like, when you just know what this team is defensively, until you tell me what the defensive stats look like, I don't care what their offensive stats look like, because I know they can score on some nights, but I know they're going to give up 120 as soon as you play anybody.
Follow question to that, Grub. Obviously, we know Herb Jones hasn't played in some time. How is one man just so responsible for this whole defensive unit? Like, how is he just – why does everybody go brain dead when he's not here?
I guess the equivalent would be, you remember when the Indianapolis Colts did win the Super Bowl, and there was dude Bob Sanders.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody remember Bob Sanders.
The 5'9", yeah.
And Bob Sanders, when he was on the field for that defense, the Colts had a legitimate Super Bowl contending defense. And then every year he would get hurt and he'd be gone in critical games, particularly when they played the Patriots. He'd be hurt and they couldn't get over the hump. The year that they won, he was available for all of the playoff games. And so they won. He was the linchpin. Nothing else changed. They had Dwight Freeney. They had all these other people. Bob Sanders was the linchpin. And I think you see that with Herb Jones, is that Herb is the only guy who every time is going to do exactly what he's supposed to do. Not what's written for him, but what he's supposed to do. He reads it. He makes the adjustment in real time, defensively and offensively. He can do those things. If it requires a cut, Herb knows to make the cut. If it requires a screen, Herb knows to make the screen. If it requires jumping that on the defensive end and getting 8 steals in one night, Herb understands that that's what the job is that night. You don't have a lot of professional, and we've talked about this for years, have we not? Professional basketball players. People who understand situational basketball and can play as the game requires it and not just simply as they've been taught it. And I think once you take him off the floor, you see it. You saw the reactions tonight. You saw guys' heads turned completely just by simple, side-to-side ball movement. So, I mean, it's just they are not disciplined. They don't talk. And can you name one other person besides even Trey who gives more than passable effort on a quarter-to-quarter basis?
No, me and Chris, we started the show off talking about that. Like, somebody in the comments was talking about how bad Trey's defensive effort was. And we were like, I mean, who is good on defense, obviously, other than Herb Jones? There is nobody, Micah Peavy, you know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, like, Herb is carrying so much weight, and he's not even, like, we talking about Herb Jones, and Herb Jones not even playing. Like, that's how impactful Herb Jones is. Go ahead, Chris.
Alito, I want to make one comment. When you mentioned, you asked why when Herb is gone, does the rest of the team just seem to go brain dead? And I think the simplest way, outside of the Bob Sanders comparison, which is really good, I would say, I think sometimes guys just take for granted somebody that is really good at doing their job well and your job well. Like Herb takes care of his shit, and he's gonna do your work too some nights. Like he has the ability. One night he's gonna make life difficult for the person he's guarding, but at minimum, his presence alone and his ability, his skill set on that side of the floor makes, it takes pressure off of the other 4 guys that he's sharing the floor with. And when that's not there, well, what are these guys? Well, it's like taking the training wheels off again, because, and it's unfortunate because you want these guys to be able to defend no matter who's out there, but it's just not out there. And we, you guys have been on the floor, man, like that energy is consistent. You'll get guys that that aren't consistent, that aren't the most athletic, that aren't the most talented, that don't have the best wingspan, but you'll get them out there with the right effort, even if it's just one guy out there really, going, side to side, really going out there, leaving all out there on the floor. Without it, who else is doing it?
Yeah.
There's also that subconscious component of like, even if the players are still bad defenders overall, when you see someone else, even if Herb's not getting stops or he's not blocking a bunch of shots or getting steals, or just the fact that you have someone else out there giving like maximum effort and focus defensively all the time, there's a subconscious component to the other 4 guys on the floor of like, oh, well, I got to lock in just a little bit. Like I can't just be a total joke on the defensive end. And right. I think when he's not out there, you lose even that little uptick of the other players of like, damn, I got to be a little bit more concerned with what's happening on that end, because you see somebody else doing it. And they've just lost all of that. I mean, I'll probably take Herb for granted.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I definitely have taken Herb for granted. Even though I know, what I'm saying, it's like you see shit like this. But I wonder, before we move on, it was a comment in the chat that I just wanted to respond to about defense. I can't find it, but they said the coaches aren't even coaching them up. You shouldn't have to coach effort. Like, I shouldn't have to remind you about effort and giving a shit. Like, that's something that you've been playing basketball since you 5, more than likely. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guard your yard. You guard the person in front of you. You should understand rotations and switching. Like, Grub 5, before y'all joined, we were talking about the last person I heard on the floor that communicated for the Pelicans was Jonas. I could hear Jonas through the TV. He was yelling out a screen or how he was playing. Herb obviously doesn't need to do that because Herb is actually doing it. But there's no communication with these guys defensively. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Grub.
I mean, like you said, part of it is just, do you try? Do you try? And how many times do you see? And right now, Jeremiah is like unplayable defensively. Like it's embarrassing.
Defensively?
His effort defensively at this stage. Like he's not even like him and Poole both. If they're whenever they are on the floor together, there might as well not be a defensive backcourt. And you're starting to see like Queen is now paying the price for having success with his hands earlier in the year. Like his ability to get steals.
Yeah.
His ability to get steals early in the season. You are now seeing him reaching or anticipating that he could get more steals maybe than he's capable of. And centers now, who are mediocre centers as far as their offense goes, are having 6 for 8 nights, in the front court again. Macy's giving you effort, but he doesn't have size. So it's just, if you're getting no stops on the perimeter and you see Trey getting overmatched, whether if he's near the basket and then they get dominated there, and then on the perimeter, he doesn't look like he's anticipating anything. So it just doesn't seem like they're aware defensively. And then on top of that, none of them look like they're in position to do anything. And it starts with the backcourt. If you get no resistance in the backcourt, and as you see teams, this has been 2 years now where you've said opposing guards get a runway to get to the paint. And once that happens, that's how you get the open threes. That's how you get the dunks. That's how all this happens. And there's no resistance at the point of attack. And Jose, again, it's like, bless his heart. Like, he tries, but after for 3 minutes, it's like, okay, we got it now. We got it.
I'm heated.
Grub. What was that again?
Which one?
Show me the Jose. What was it?
And hey, I really can't stress this enough. Like, Poole defensively is way worse than I ever. I mean, I just didn't watch him a lot, other than national TV games or whatever before he got here. Like, he is way worse than I thought. The Poole Zion Trey minutes together, that 3-man has just been an abomination. I mean, they like so bad that they really shouldn't even play together. And I just didn't. I mean, I didn't see that. This Poole thing has gone way worse than I thought it would. I was skeptical that it would be, but he makes the defensive issue just so much worse. And when he's not providing anything offensively either, it's like, well, sheesh.
Hey man, I don't care when people don't like me, but I wish there were players on the Pelicans that felt the same way, right? I would tell them, none of you are good enough to not play defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think there needs to be like some sort of like reality check here. You're not that good. You're not. And that's okay. Like, your offense isn't here. You may think you're skilled enough, and you might be skilled, but it doesn't necessarily correlate to winning yet. So you need to play the other side of the basketball, because it's not like football where you have one guy for offense and another guy for defense. And this is why I get pissed off about like Herb having to do all of this. It's fucking 5 people on the court. You got to play both sides. Everybody does. You're not Luka. You're not Ant. You're not LeBron. You're not fucking Jaylen Brown. He plays both sides of the ball. You're not that good. No one should be skipping out on defensive assignments because you feel like you're offensively more talented. Like, we need you on offense. No, you don't win basketball games that way. You don't.
Lito.
What up?
Lito, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What do you do right now from Borrego's perspective? We talked last game about Five made a comment about picking a side, right? Mm-hmm. With your philosophy, and you either are going to lean heavy on trying to outscore teams, or you're going to lean heavy on trying to get stops, and neither of them are working right now. Today, you see him start Carlo, which we talked about. Previous nights, it was, I'll put Looney and Misi together. Another lineup tonight had, I think it was Fears, Poole, Trey, a bunch of different offensive-centric playmaking individuals all on the floor in hopes of where you could, put together some points on the board. That didn't work either. It's almost like damn if you do, damn if you don't right now with some nights, with whether some guys are in or out of the lineup. So if you're him, today was another step, like I just mentioned in starting Carlo. Like, what do you do next?
Newsflash, buddy. You can't, Dr. Ross. You can't outscore teams. I'll say this. That would be your best bet, to try to outscore teams, because you can't stop teams. But the problem is, I'm looking at Zion played 26 minutes, he had 12 points. He only shot the ball 10 times. He was cooking. What's his name? Jovic. He was cooking Jovic in the first half, and then I have no idea what happened. If you're gonna get games like this from him, you got no chance of winning anyway. Like the past 5 to 7 games, I'd say he's been on. Zion's been on he's been playing so well offensively. I texted Justin this the other day. I said Zion's doing that thing again. He's doing that thing where he's getting to 30. He's getting to his 30th game of the season, and it starts to look like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not.
Got his summer body back.
Yeah. I'm not buying. I'm off that narcotic. I am off that narcotic. I refuse to believe in that. But I'm just saying, from the outside looking in, it looks like that. Chris, to answer your question, the reality of the situation is there's nothing you can do. This team don't have a whole lot, bro. This team don't have enough talent. You can't, bro. Chris, you and I just talked about this game. Bam played like shit. They have Jaime and they have Tyler. You couldn't outscore this team, and you couldn't defend this team.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, but look, 20. You had almost as many turnovers as Miami had assists. You know what I'm saying? Like you start right, like, and if you look at the lineups, look at the Pelicans over this losing streak. Their fastest lineups, like they don't understand, and this tells you how stupid a team they are. They don't understand. Like it's the old saying by what's the coach? Now I'm forgetting his name. The coach from UCLA, John Wooden. Be quick, but don't hurry. Right? The Pelicans, when they are fast at their fastest, that's when they make their most mistakes. They don't get into that right the spot that's right. Pause. They don't find the happy median of playing where they have the right tempo of speed, but where they're also making plays. When they try to play too fast, they make too many turnovers. When they try to play too slow, they don't pass the ball enough. When we saw it for that few games, for that 5-game win streak, when you saw the match, the vertices, converged where they were playing with the right amount of passes in the half court, but still the shots were getting up early enough. But when they play typically, that what you see tonight and what you saw under Willie is the same thing with these guys. They don't know how to do both. Like if they're moving quickly, they make bad decisions. But if you slow them down too much, they make bad decisions. They're going to turn it over playing too slow. So it's just like you can never find the right tempo for them. And Zion, that point about Zion, the fact that Zion does not have a 50-point game in his career still. And you see all the dudes out here getting 50. His lack of selfishness. The other night, Justin was tweeting about it. That Zion, it looks like he's gonna break his franchise record, franchise high for shot attempts. And he shot like 5 shots in the second half. He shot 1 shot in the second half tonight. Like it's like you see this from him too often. He has told you now. We went into this with the question of whether or not he wanted to be a franchise player. He's told you he doesn't. Because you would not allow this tonight. You would take the fucking ball from somebody's hand if you were the franchise player, or you would walk off the fucking court and say, if you're not going to give me the ball, get me the hell out of here. Those are the only 2 things that your franchise player does. And Zion has done neither of those during this entire losing streak. Not once has he said, give me the fucking basketball and lose. If I miss tonight, then we lose. But he is not one time during this losing streak has he said, give me that, and I'm going to make it happen.
I agree with all that. I would say the one thing to remember though about that little 5-game win streak or whatever it was Herb played, right? Herb came back from injury. I think he played the game before, which was a real close loss to the Spurs, 2 3-point loss to the Spurs, whatever it was, and then we win whatever it was 4 or 5 straight, and then Herb goes back out. So maybe a little nuance there with like how much of a difference he actually makes with this currently healthy, cobbled together group of players. But I agree about the Zion thing. In fact, it really pissed me off when they took him out. He's got to play. I don't care if it's a bad, like I saw somebody else say he was a -20, whatever. I don't care. There's no chance to win if he doesn't play. And giving him a break and playing him 26 minutes on a night where he takes 12 shots, doesn't get to the free throw line is not solving any issue. Let him stay in there the whole 4th quarter. Like, nah, you part of this too. And you've got to build some of that back in, because you've seen times in his career, specifically 2 years ago, late in the year, when he was doing some of the things that we're talking about, where he would take over games, where he would play late. We talked about it 2 nights ago, where he was playing 36 minutes a night during that stretch. You've got to get him back to playing. Like, otherwise, there's just no point. Like, there's no point for him to ever play 26 minutes and have and score 12 points. It's just not good enough. I don't care if we're losing by 30. In this situation, there's a sense of urgency. You have to play better. stay on the court and figure it out. I don't care if we lose by 40.
Go ahead, Fire.
Yeah, I think I said this last night or 2 nights ago, right? Where like your other option is Zion just be like, yo, give me the ball. Like we're winning or losing on me. I don't care about. There's too much do you ball. Do you, cuz? Do you? No. And also, if I see Jeremiah Fears not pass the ball on the swing, takes that dumbass dribble one more time, I'm gonna break my computer. I'm tired of it. Sorry. But yeah, it's just too much do you basketball, right? Like get it how you live. Like, no, man. No. If I give you the ball, then that's a different story. But you need to look for me first. This is I'm David Ruffin. Y'all the Temptations.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think Borrego's going to have to give Fears some of the the tough love that we've seen, not just Borrego, but Willie give Derek Queen throughout the year. Like, and even if it's as simple as him not starting, going forward, we'll see how long that lasts. I don't want to necessarily strip his confidence away, but it's when you're developing, man, when you're developing young people, young talents, whatever environment, the initial environment is everything, because that builds habits, that builds structure, that builds habits, good and bad. And some of this stuff you got to correct now. Some of this stuff with him, you have to be able to point to now. Maybe he never changes it, but you have to put the stuff, I think, in place in which holding him accountable for it. So we're not still talking about it, whether his game continues to develop and grow 2 or 3 years from now. And, with him, there's a fine line between being aggressive and reckless, or aggressive and selfish, or confident in looking off your teammates and not making the right basketball play, which I know he can make.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it. But it's too many, and you compound that with a losing team, a team that's not going anywhere. I won't say it's necessarily it can turn into a wasted year, but you damn sure could be looking at a situation where you wasted, some key opportunities towards somebody like him who has a bright future. Same with Queen. Like, I don't mind some of the things with Queen. I don't mind. I was at the Bulls game. I saw DeAndre Jordan yelling at Queen on the bench a few different times. Queen didn't have much to say, but it was needed. It was important. Like, yo, bro, like this is what I need you to do. Here's what we're doing. I'm hoping that to help, I won't say eliminate, but to help continue working on some of these things. If Fears is going to be the best version of himself, I'm hoping that we're finding ways to attack this stuff now, because I don't think he's ever, like, I think Grubb said that he didn't think that he thought Fears was a unplayable defensively. I don't think he's ever going to be a good defender. I don't know if that's going to be in the cards of. I think he's going to be a passive defender. I think he's going to be able to make some plays happen. I think he'll be able to force turnovers and stuff like that. But I don't know if we're ever looking at a guy that's going to be a plus on that side of the ball. So if that's the case, the IQ parts, the unselfishness, the team aspect of things, and you being a leader at the point guard, like, that has to change. That has to be worked on. And I hope that the guys right now, they have him similar to their approach with Queen. I'm hoping that Fears is having those same kind of moments of teaching.
Yeah.
So good.
I just want to ask this. Like, we talk about like being a plus on the defensive. Like, what does it take to be just average defensively?
Effort.
Like what I mean? Like, we're not asking guys to lead the league in steals or anything like that. Right? We're just asking you to stay in front of your guy, contest a shot, rebound. Carlo, don't leak. Stay in the play. You know what I mean? Like, we're not asking things you've never done before. These are all situations you've seen as a kid, as a high schooler, as a college player. there's nothing different about that. Guard the guy in front of you. But no, like we get guys like one move and you're gone. Like it rotating the wrong way, or just the lackluster effort this team exudes on a night-to-night basis. It's damning.
Yo, Grub, I want to hear what you had to say. I just want to respond to 5 real fast about and kind of you, Grub, about Zion. To me, right, like it's twofold, right? Because at some point, IQ wise, you see who's on the floor and you see who's guarding that person, and you would think you would want to get your best player the basketball. Like that, it shouldn't take science. Like I shouldn't have to go and draw some shit up on a chart for you to understand that. Because we playing a game of basketball. The best player always supposed to have the ball. Wherever you've been, Biddy, you know what I'm saying, Pee Wee, you know, like high school basketball, the best player has the basketball. But I say this shit all the time, man. At the end of the day, best player gotta want to have the basketball. Like you gotta call for the basketball. You gotta demand the basketball. And I was telling Justin this the other day. You know, you talked about 50 Grub. Josh scored 44. Scored 44 the other night. He ain't shoot a 3. No threes was made, right? I text Justin and I said, Zion has no fucking excuse. He has no excuse. I think Josh shot 20, either 23 or 24 shots. He got the rest in free throws. Why you can't do that? I'm so like tonight. I'm so tired of seeing these between these 10 and 15 field goal attempt games. You gotta give your team a chance to win. And you're not doing that when you being lackluster and you're not being aggressive. That's what you're getting paid to do. Anyways, y'all carry on. I want to hear what you had to say, bro.
Well, like just quickly on that is just, yeah, I mean, at some point, there's no way that if you went 3 straight possessions, let's say with Kevin Durant don't get the ball right now with the Rockets, with the Rockets, he go 3 straight possessions where he does not get the ball and he thinks he's open and y'all don't score. When you get back to the huddle, it's going to be heard.
You go hear about it.
Like it's going to be heard. Like whether or not it changes right then, it's going to be heard. And you can watch the huddles. We've all watched a Pelicans huddle with Zion Williamson in it for every year that he's been. You have never seen Zion react with his teammates in the huddle. You've never seen the late game situation where Zion is grabbing guys in the huddle and saying, hey, I got this last 5 minutes. It's not a rhythm thing, not where the whole arena gets it. No, when Zion has to claim it. You know what I mean? And those types of things, you're looking for that kind of mettle, especially in this situation where, like you said, where this game doesn't mean anything essentially. You're not making the playoffs. You're not making a run, but it means something if you want to be here. It means something if you're trying to establish what the new pecking order is going to be. It means something if you're trying to keep Borrego around. It means something if you're trying, there's meaning here to be had on a nightly basis in how you represent yourself and how you are presenting yourself to the other 29 teams if your future is not in New Orleans. And I think that failure, when given now the opportunity, when all the things have been pushed away, when every impediment that we've ever said has been pushed away, you know what I'm saying, and you still don't do it, then that tells me that you don't want it. And then the other part for me is just you look at this team in the basic IQ level, they don't want to do it. Like they don't want to do it. And you saw, to go back to the Herbert points, the only time Fears has been playable since December 1st is when Herb is on the floor, because the offense is still good and the defense is legitimately good when they're together. But everybody else, it's reinforcement. Like you said, it's bad habit reinforcement. Because if everybody, as Five said, playing do you basketball, get it how you live, then nobody's holding anybody accountable. And a dude like Trey, his problem is he's passive about it too. Because he'll sit over there and he'll sulk about it and he'll take his heat check shot, from 9 feet from behind the line. He'll take his heat check shot because he hasn't gotten a shot in 5 minutes, but he won't stand up for himself either. So you got a bunch of dudes, and the rookies are fine with taking whatever shots that they want. They're fine with not passing it. And I think, again, the ego gets to rookies too much success. When I said that maybe Jose needed to start and let Fears come along a little more slowly, everybody said, no, you don't let Fears cook. I said, okay. When they said put Queen in, let him do what he does, let him do what he does. Okay, I said give him minutes, but when you get success and you start thinking it's easier than it is, and I think these boys are figuring out that it's not as easy as they thought, that it ain't run around and point at people when you get a dunk. It ain't all that every night. That you don't, how many times is Bam Adebayo getting his dunk and pointing and running up and down the court? It's cool to be enthusiastic, bro, but night in and night out, this is a job. And these are grown men paying for their life by what they do on the basketball court. And I don't think enough of these dudes on this roster, outside of Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado, for the limitations that they have, appreciate the situation that they're in. Like, most of you cats are, like, all of you are replaceable. All of you are background singers. All of you are, like, none of you is Ralph Tresvant, yo. Like, none of you. You all could be replaced. Like, you might got a hit here, but you ain't the voice. So yeah, it's like I think that part of it, that they all think that there's something that they are not, and that until you understand that as a person, let alone an NBA player, you're gonna get what you get.
Chris, Rosh, I have some.
No, I was gonna say the like, to that point, it's why I keep going back to this thing of, like, you got to keep turning the roster over. Sense of urgency. No one is safe. Not Zion, not anyone. Because we're sitting here saying all of these things and talking about how bad it is and all the issues and the deficiencies with all these players. And here we are once again with two rookies that we're now kind of all on record saying will never be passable defensively. All of this stuff, right? Doesn't mean they're bad players. Doesn't mean I don't want them around. Doesn't mean they have upside. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. But the point is like, we keep going back to this thing of, like, it's just not a very good team. Like the individually or in a team concept, they're just not very good. Whether that's the GM, the coach, the players, I don't know, and I don't care. But the point is you were horrible last year. You're somehow even worse this year. And what are you going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do about it? Because doing nothing, you're going to be back in the same spot next year. Oh, and you don't have a first round pick. So, like, that's why I keep going back to this sense of urgency. That if you're going to be really bad, well, then let's start moving on from some people. Let's try to turn the roster over so that at least you get younger and more exciting, and maybe you can build things a little different this next time around. Like, that's just the reality of this situation. And so when we sit here and kind of harp on just how bad the situation is, it's hard for me not to be like, then what the hell are we doing just sitting here? Like, turn the roster. There's nothing to lose. You have lost everything. There's nothing else to lose. Just clean out. You know, I don't mean that. I don't mean it in a like, I'm not trying to say be you know, necessary and risky about it, but, like, the fact is this group of players doesn't win any games. Lito, we talked about, you just said it earlier. Like, I'm not falling for it again because we convinced ourselves that, man, if Zion and Trey both play and these other guys, like, they'll win some games. Like, it's going to be a 500 thing and you'll have. They don't, and they haven't. And so, like, then what? Like, what is the next step? What's is something going to happen, or are we just going to sit here? Because right now you're giving the second overall pick to Atlanta. That ain't cool.
Man, hold on one second. I wanted to let's respond to something real fast, man. Shout out to Breeze, man. Breeze 31 says Zion gave 3 30-point games in the past 5 games. Zion Williamson is the best thing going for the Pels. So stop blaming your leading scorer. Last time I checked, Zion is averaging 23.8 points this season. So last time I checked, that would not even be 23.8. That is not top 23 in the NBA right now. So Breeze, I feel like what we're saying is more. Average more. Do more. Be better. I'm not blaming Zion.
The assists.
Yeah.
What happened to the steals? Remember the guy that we saw at the beginning of the year who was getting all the steals on the defensive end, or the guy last year that was averaging almost a triple-double every night because he was moving the basketball and rebounding. He's had look at how many 2-rebound games he's had lately. Look how many 1 or 2 assist games he's had. It's like even when he's scoring, he's not impacting the game. And I can't remember who was talking about, but they were saying like when you look at a dude like LeBron at this stage in his career and he puts up all-star numbers, but you don't get no wins out of that. And that's what it feels like is like with Zion's numbers, that it's that manifestation of good numbers, bad team. He could get good numbers anywhere. His numbers are going to look good anywhere. But do they make you any better? And before, at least they did. Like at least before, his efficiency made the Pelicans better. But now you are getting nothing out of his efficiency.
Okay, so wait, I got a question to that, and anyone can answer, or it can go to Grub. You all can answer. What's different then? What's different now?
As far as Zion?
Yeah. With him, Grub mentioned that before, you were getting wins. You were 500. It was leading the wins, so on and so forth. Yeah. So what's different now?
My answer.
I don't think he says explosive.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks different. It looks different. Even though it's still one-dimensional, like it looks different, and that's worse because it's one-dimensional.
And I think what you're getting
is impressive, does it? Does it look like even when he's scoring 30, like it doesn't look as dominant. It doesn't make you feel like, damn, Zion's on a roll. It's like you wake up now and you're like, oh, he had 30. That was a nice 30, but it doesn't feel the same. It's not reverberating through the game.
It's less enthusiastic, and I think what you're getting now is a guy who understands that the team's 8-28. Like the team is worse around him. All of those things are true, but I think he's always been a guy that I think motivation has kind of weaned and wavered. And are you getting the maxed out version of Zion? I don't think you are, and that's why I go back to this thing tonight. I'm not playing you 26 minutes ever. Like you haven't earned the right to be like, the game's kind of over. All right, let him go sit, or hey, you're no, no, because if that's where you're at, then just trade him and move on. Right? There's only 2 years left on this thing anyway, and so if you're either telling me at this point, like the whole reason for this exercise was we got to see if there was still that if, like you got a new GM, you got rid of the coach, all this stuff, like. All right, now we have to see if Zion can lead this team back to relevance or to the playoffs, and it's just not happening. Like it's not. And somebody might say, "Well, that's unfair. You're asking him to do like you're asking one person to do everything." Yes, it's not unfair. It's the NBA where 5 guys are on the court, and you're supposed to be the star. You're the guy. You were drafted number 1. You were supposed to be transformational. All this stuff, like it's not unfair. Jokic averages like 30, 15, and 15. Impacts the game in a million different ways. And I'm not comparing Zion and Jokic, but the point is yes, you are asked to do everything, and if it's not leading to any more wins, then it's just empty. I mean, I could list off 20 players right now that scored 28 points a night on shitty teams. Who cares?
Go ahead.
My last thing is they're just not process driven. It's all results driven, right? Like if my team is playing well, then that gives me confidence, or that gives me a reason to play harder, when it shouldn't be that, right? Like you should play that way regardless. Like you should want to, you're the guy. You should want to do all of those things. You should want to rebound. You should want to defend. You should want to score. You should want to shoot. You should want to assist. Like the success should go through you. If that's not the case, the Pelicans shouldn't be paying you what they're paying you. Like if you don't want to do the extra things, if you just want to do what you're good at, you're just a specialist. You know what I mean? You're a contract guy. Like You know what I mean? Great. You're going to do a quick turnaround, get paid, and you're going to get out of here. But, like, who's the foundational piece here? There is none. And that's where the true problem lies.
Well said. Man, hold on, man. We got 127 people in here. What are the likes at, guys? Like, we've been podding for an hour, 4 minutes now. What are the likes at? Before we do that, girl, tonight Trey had 27 on 19 shot attempts, 15 threes. I'm proud of Trey because I said at halftime, shout out to 5. We was at that game yelling at Trey. I said at halftime, I think he was 4 for 7. I can't remember exactly, but I said I needed him to shoot at least 6 more threes. He did. How do you 8 rebounds, 5 assists? How you feel about Trey's performance tonight? Obviously, they lost, but
I mean, we know what he's capable of. We know what at his peak what he's capable of. The problem I think night in and night out is the two things that Trey's the best, like one of the best at in the league, is shooting off of screens. They'll never get him off those screens. And then, of course, getting points in the paint. They don't get out and run. So it's like if this team, because of the way it plays constantly on a night-to-night basis, doesn't make things easy for Trey, and Trey is not great at making things easy for himself as far as how he asserts himself offensively, he still struggles with that efficiency. I think, like, on the nights when things are moving and the ball finds him, he can be an efficient scorer. But it's just this. We'll go another night and he'll have 24, but he'll take 2 threes. Or he'll take 4 threes. And it's like, because the Pelicans offense is not consistent enough on a night-to-night basis, it doesn't have principles. Like, it tried. It really tried for a minute, but these guys cannot adhere to anything. So they're on a night-to-night basis, there's nothing that they adhere to. And for a guy like Trey, who is very much like Klay Thompson to me in that thought, that he requires consistency. And the Pelicans cannot provide Trey Murphy with consistency.
yeah.
And so he's not going to reach his potential because this environment cannot create for him the type of consistency that he needs to be an elite 2. You know what I'm saying? Elite number 2 guy. That's his ceiling. It's elite number 2. He can't get that with the Pelicans because he just is not going to get the consistency.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I was super proud of Trey. He did something tonight that I was like, yeah, shoot everything. He shot one that I didn't expect him to shoot. And it was cash. He airballed one and then shot the next one. I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is the person I want to see play basketball. Like, fuck everything. If they give you a glimpse of light, you pull. There are no. That's the rule. You should be the only one with that ultra green light. No one else. And I was proud to see that. Now, also with praise comes some criticism. Catch the damn ball, my friend. If you got to do some ball slaps, some finger push-ups, like everybody needs to get stronger with the damn basketball. It seems like, you know what I mean. But hey, I was proud of that. You didn't lose your confidence on some missed shots. Them not giving you the ball, you didn't lose your confidence. You stay locked in. Hey, I want to see more of this. Don't make it just while you're in Miami, because Miami has some cool things. I'm pretty sure there was some cool things at the game. There's me and Lito talked about a couple places a few pods ago.
Hey, 5.
Yeah,
say 5.
Hey, Chris.
Say when you say cool things, I'm a detail guy. Visual sometimes. Huh. Can you explain what you mean when you say things? I'm back on mute now. Don't worry about it.
All right. I know you're playing the game, but listen. Cool. It's this place called is it Booby Trap? Booby Trap. And I got trapped. And I never wanted to leave. I got trapped on purpose. Like, I say, oh wow, do you see that? And you just kind of fall in. Oh, someone help me. Don't really save me. But it's a cool place. You should go if you've never been. Beautiful women. All of them smell good. I don't know if you've ever been in establishments like that where everybody smells wonderful. There's money going around. There's drinks. It's all kind of things. You should go. But I'm pretty sure Trey was, experiencing some things. Probably the rookies, their first time going out, probably had a wonderful time. Right? Trey spends off seasons in Miami. It's probably like a second home. Hopefully he can bring his second home with him on the road and when he comes back to New Orleans.
Shout out to Miami, man. Shout out to Miami. Chris, you had any other questions you wanted detailed answers to? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he said that there was money around.
No.
Yeah.
All right,
but, not the place.
Moving right along. Chris, a lot of people in the comments hate DQ, man. They're talking about his motor. They're talking about he threw some god awful lobs tonight. Yeah. Like I just wanted him to stop. Just stop. Just stop throwing lobs at some point. What's going on with DQ?
I mean, the easiest, laziest way could say rookie. You would say he's going through a rookie wall or another rookie wall. But I mean, in all honesty, Grubb kind of said it best earlier. When talking about some of the things that were working for him early in the year, it's not working right now. And to me, all that sounds like is, teams make adjustments, y'all. Like around the league, they make adjustments. They don't like they see what you're doing, and the good teams, they eventually put this shit on film and put it in scouting reports, and then they apply it. And I think, man, I said this when Queen and Fierce got here. I said, a lot of people, man, in this fan base, we have not been in a situation where we've got an opportunity to see rookies, talented rookies, stay in New Orleans or play large minutes early, consistently, and watch them succeed and fail. And a lot of times when you're a rookie, that's what this shit's about. It's about living and learning. He had Fears and Queen both, but specifically talking about Queen. Queen's had some really good highs. He's also had some lows. But the same way he adjusted for when he had periods early in the year when he was struggling, he has to do it. He has to do it this way. And then at some point, maybe later in the year, he's going to have to adjust again. He's going to have to make adjustments to the adjustments that other teams are making. Like, that's just a part of the game to me. You knew what his flaws were already. You knew that. But this isn't the finished version of Derek Queen. You know what I mean? We don't, next year is going to be a different version that walks in mentally, physically, skill set wise, more than likely. So, and it just so happens that this team is also really bad. So everything looks worse. Everything looks worse. Man, look, if you live in a shit house, no one cares how good your bathroom looks. Tell you right now, no one's complimenting the living room more than likely. It's a piece. If it's a bad house, it's a bad house. More than likely, all the rooms, everything feels worse. Everything looks worse. And that's, to me, that's what we're talking about right now. Team is 8-29, whatever it is, they stink. So, yeah, of course, you shouldn't just be upset or down on Derek Queen. You should be upset with everybody. It just so happened, though, that Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears are rookies. This is their first, 37 games of this shit. What about the guys that have been in this league for 6 years? What about the guys that have been here 5 years, 4 years, 3 years? You should be even more mad at them because they've seen this shit already. They know what this is like. These dudes still learning. So I ain't giving no bill. You know what I'm saying? He got to play better. He got to learn some shit. But it's a little different for him and being a rookie in general than it is for some of these veterans that are still making the same mistakes that they've been making for years.
You know what house looks good no matter what room you go in?
Booby trap. No, go ahead.
Boy.
And it's money. It's money.
Okay.
Money everywhere.
All right. Okay. All right.
Putting people through college.
All right.
Putting people through college. Shout out to
Dylan. Shout out to Grubb, man. Man, let's get to these fan questions, man. Let's get to these chat questions. Chef Curry, man. Chef been active tonight in the chat, man. Chef said Borrego has marginalized Poole to the point where he's playing like a taller Alvarado is actually impressive. If anybody wants to answer that or respond to it, feel free.
Can Ross respond?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what that means. Like marginalized him? How?
He scaled his game back, Ross. He scaled his back. He downgraded him.
I hate to be like that. Poole is exactly who I thought he was. And I don't agree that he's been marginalized. I just think he's playing horrible. I mean, the guy's making 35% of his shots from the field. He is just pitiful defensively. I mean, if he's marginalized him by every time he goes on the court, he doesn't play that well. Then yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Poole, but I don't know. I'm kind of almost speechless because I just don't even see a place for Poole on the team, like moving forward. And I'm sure he'll go somewhere else and be fine. I'm not saying he's not an NBA player. He clearly is. But I don't see how he works on like whatever the hell this roster is and what it's going to be. And so it's just one of those situations where I would probably be looking to find him a more appropriate home, like for him and his skill set and like what he wants to be, and some of the Pelicans. I don't see a fit.
In all seriousness, like before the season started, when we talked about the backcourt with Poole in it, we said like he did not have somebody to lead the offense for him. And this was going to hinge on his ability to adjust to that. Like numbers aside, like what do we think about him aside? Just the practical part that Ross is talking about is like, okay, now that it hasn't worked at this point in the season, 37 games in, there is no future for him in New Orleans. And I've said this multiple times. It didn't matter now if he scores 20 points a game the rest of the season. It don't matter. His future is not here because if you got the best of Jordan Poole now, he's not raising your ceiling to make you a legitimate contender. And whatever he does to raise your floor ain't worth $35 million. So to me, the only solution is he has to go. And however you got here or what, the record is what it is. And Jordan Poole's best does not help the Pelicans get out of this situation. So he needs to go.
Bro. Caveman 93. I'm a casual. I watch Pels on League Pass a lot though. You guys have talent, but lots of turnovers, like a lot. Commenting from Toronto. I just disagree with the talent part of this.
You'd right about the turnovers.
Physical talent.
Yeah. I mean, they're a basketball player.
Run.
Yeah, like right. They can play basketball. But I disagree. Yeah, 5, you right about the turnovers. That's Money Bag Q Swiper says James Borrego is Willie Green 2.0. Y'all have at it.
Not even in the slightest. Not even close. I don't even know how to explain this to you. Moneybag Q Swiper _ No, it's not even close. The fact that the Pelicans actually generate wide open looks, actually ATOs generate. Did you see the ATO that Trey got? Right? I think it was Jordan Poole. It was like a pick and roll. It might have been in the first half. Trey ends up with a wide open 3. He misses it. That ain't no James. James ain't out there fucking turning the ball over 17 times in the first half. Right? Like, I'm not, and there are some things that I think James is bad at. Like, there was no need to challenge the first play in the second half. Like, the timeout was way more valuable than getting that possession, and then you didn't even fucking score. So that didn't even matter. Like, I don't like shit like that. But is he Willie Green bad? Hell no.
And it don't make a difference. Like, you got literally the worst guard group in the entire NBA.
Yep.
By every measurable, you have the worst collection of guards in the NBA. Borrego's offense kind of needs guards. Your best decision maker with the basketball is your rookie center. Who's going to be good with first 2 rookies in the start lineup? How many teams in the league are good with that? And then on top of that, they are handling the ball the overwhelming majority of the time in that. They're not just like lob threat rookies. They're not catch and shoot. Your rookie is your point guard and your center who's running the offense when he's in the game. Who's going to win with that? Yes, go look at the stats, and collectively as a group, the Pelicans have the worst guard play in the NBA. The worst. Okay, like, so you give any coach that, and we said this, Willie made it worse. Yes, Willie made things worse. And I said this plenty of times too, but on the post up, they were going to be better, but you can't make bad good. Nobody can make bad good. Bad is bad. You can make it better, but you can't make bad good.
It's fact. That is facts. Shout out to Kyle. Kyle said, with that, to be successful, they still need to move Herb Jones to the bench. Whoever wants to answer that. All right.
When did
to be successful? It's hilarious.
Wait, let me hold on here. The last when did Herb sprain his ankle? What game was it?
The game that, yeah.
Huh? The streak, yeah. I think the last game of the win streak.
It was the last game of the win streak. At the end of the last game of the win streak.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
To be unsuccessful. All right, man. Move right along. Bayou Sniper said, "Can we just rip the Band-Aid off? I'm tired of watching the team trying to win without having a real chance to win. The false hope is old." Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What do you want them to do? Become unsuccessful?
There you go, Ross.
I got you. I'm tired of watching them too, Bayou. I really am, man. It's fall. Yeah, it is. I'm ready for it too. I think this trickery that the organization has played on itself for years now about thinking that it's close to contending or has an opportunity to contend or make some move that it believes is going to turn it into a consistent playoff team. None of those have worked or manifested. So I'm with you. I don't really see a need to continue down this road of I would say mediocrity, but it's been far worse than that.
Yeah. Oh no! As a famous grift and Reverend Jesse Jackson once said, "Keep hope alive. If you keep hope alive, they'll keep spending that money. That train will keep chugging.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope a goddamn alive." Shout out to Bianca. Appreciate you tapping in, Bianca. What's up, fellas? What is what's different is he hasn't changed anything. I believe this is in reference to Zion. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was Borrego, but yeah, nah, you're right. That's Zion.
Yeah, because five. He does drive right. So
I never said not driving right. I said finishing right.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Because he'll drive right. And that ugly left hand rears ugly head.
Just going back.
Man, you know, and look, what I think what more people need to talk about more when it comes to Zion is how difficult, like what lineup works. Somebody said earlier in the show, man, you know, the too big lineup really killed the spacing for Zion. You mean the guy that doesn't shoot and only goes to the rim, that doesn't score
only to one side of the rim,
and only to one side of the rim? Like, I mean, it's difficult as impressive statistically as he can be, and as impressive visually as we've seen him be. We've seen him win games. We've seen him dominate games. It hasn't happened like that this year, but we've seen it over his time in New Orleans. at the end of the day, man, when you yourself can't space the floor and you don't defend, and you're a 6'6" big that doesn't play out the post, that isn't a great free throw shooter, that clogs up a lot of shit too. Like, I mean, you know, and that's just me. Yo, Zion got to be better too. Like, Zion has to get better too. I understand the things that he does that's great right now, but you can't find another player. You can't find another player similar that has continued to be this way year in and year out. And we use we give this amount of excuses to, and not to even mention that he doesn't play. We don't know how long this stretch is gonna even last of him playing basketball. So I mean, we got to stop defending these guys.
All shooting, yeah. The spacing ain't the problem because of the lack of shooting around him. Like you said, Chris, I think a big part of it is he takes away his own spacing because you know exactly where he's going to attack from. Like you said, if he cannot score quickly, like without the basketball in his hands. So like you can't, like you say, you can't throw it into the post and have him make a quick move. Like not a post up. He ain't got to post up. Just be able to. He doesn't run to the front of the rim and seal and get easy buckets that way. He has to be in either the top of the key or on the short wing and attack that way. And teams know, like you said, they know he's going back to his left. They know he's not going to counter. They know he doesn't, up and under. He doesn't have that secondary move. So he said, all these guys, it's like having a bunch of pitchers who all throw fastballs. And none of them have a changeup. Nobody's got a curve. Everybody throws the fastball. And then when the opponent hits the fastball, they're like, what do I? They hit the fastball. And that's the Pelicans every night. If you hit their fastball, they got nothing else for you. Zion had nothing else. He got no secondary pitch. He has nothing to go to. Fear's the same way. Queen the same. And it's excusable for rookies. If you're going to have only a fastball, you better be Mariano Rivera with that. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can hit it. And Zion's fastball ain't that anymore. It used to be that. It's not that anymore. It kind of looks like it, but it's not that anymore. It's 96. It's not 99.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to use another sport to compare it to. I was going to use Bowl's Tecmo Bowl, right? When they would do the 28 sweep and it was curtains. Like it's touchdowns. Ain't nothing you could do about it. Or NBA Jam and somebody shooting a corner three. Like ain't nothing you could do about it. But it ain't that. This ain't the video game.
Yep.
Real NBA teams make adjustments. And I always thought about like James Borrego, right? Like think about him trying to be creative in this whole process and be like, well, he only can do one thing. Like he has to start from the right side to go left. How creative can I be when it's just that? Yep. I'm limited in my process because my best player can do one thing.
Right on cue for you there, Five.
Damn, man.
That's his shot chart
working, man.
That's his shot chart for this year. Literally look at the left side of the rim. I mean, that's comical. It's hard. I mean, Five just said it best. Do you understand how difficult?
Ross, not even when you look at that, you would say, "Damn, that has to be a center. That's it. That has to be a center that can't shoot the basketball." There's no way you would tell me if I didn't know basketball or if I'm just learning that that's a small forward or a power forward. Now look, he's been this way for his entire career. But you know what? At one point, it was okay because they were winning games. At one point, it was a lot more passable because the team wasn't 8-29. They were back-to-back, back-to-back seasons. We were wondering if they'll win 20-plus games or 20 games at all. Like, that's a lack of development completely.
Bro, can you put the graphic back up, please?
Like, what is that?
Please.
That shit was on time. That's nuts. But
Check. What's like, damn.
So he didn't get outside of the free throw line, right? Like
he got one. It looks like he's got a couple misses.
He got one there. He got
He's
one.
got a couple. You gotta we gotta really squint.
Good God.
Hey, you know what's funny about this? I got like a little speck on my screen, so I thought he attempted a 3 or something.
Hey, bro, I'm over here wiping my.
No, those are all drives. That ain't in a few post ups, a few putbacks. Like that's maddening, bro. And you know what? It's very fucking difficult. And I care, and you use a lot of energy having to play that way. A lot of energy, night in and night out, having to be that way every single year after year, game after game.
And it's kind of back to the point Five was making is that it's not just him. Like Chris, we said this the last show is like I find myself almost like not in awe, but like just it consistently surprises me in games where he has 35 or 34 or 36, where I'm like, it's the same fucking thing over. Like it's almost incredible. It's not like Harden going left, but then he'd pull up from the free throw line, or he'd hit a step back, or he'd get downhill and he'd shoot 30. It's not like you know exactly what he's doing, and you know exactly where the shot is going to come from within a 2x2 box. So when he gets 30, it's still like it's almost it really is impressive on just an individual level. The problem is it's really hard to build a team concept, I think, around that when you add in the fact that he's bad defensively. Like it's hard. Like Five was making a very good point that yeah, sure, Zion can maybe go get his and whatever. But you got to, like, the other players have to somehow figure out how to play with that. And it's not that it can't be done. I don't think it can be done with this current roster. And that's where the team has struggled, is they've struggled to figure out what the right combination of players is to put around him. And maybe it can't be done. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't think it can be done here, but it's difficult. It makes life really hard for you.
Just to put a bow on this, attitude reflects leadership. Think about the one-dimensional players on the Pelicans. They're all one-dimensional. They're all seemingly can do one thing truly good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like Zion. This is the one thing that I can do really well. And I have to do this to be on the court. Like Fears' superpower is getting to the rim. He may not finish the best, but that's the superpower. Queen's passing. Trey's shooting. Micah's defense. Herb's defense. Like, we need more basketball players. Like, just having like super talented in one area isn't going to get you wins. Like, we just need more basketball players, and until that happens, we'll continue to have these podcasts about lackluster Pelicans.
My bad. I was trying to find some. Ross, one more time. Can I see that graphic? Just last time, bro. Last time. You know what this says to me? This says, look at the consequence of my actions. Look at me not getting better. Wow. I'm making the game difficult on myself.
The funniest part is the right side of the rim. Like, there's a hole where you can see the rim. Like if you look at it, you can see a quarter of the right side of the rim because he's never shooting it from there. Like, it's just I find the thing to be humorous because, like, if you go, somebody mentioned Giannis and the thing, like Giannis's rim pressure. But if you go look at Giannis, you can't see the rim. It's 3-pointers mixed in with some mid-range, but then the whole rim is covered.
Yeah.
But Zion, you can see half of the right side of the rim. It's just a funny graphic. It's funny that it's true.
And even if you look at a dude like Al Jefferson, who was notoriously one-handed, played lefty. But even you look at his shot chart, there is some cross both sides of the lane. Still, the ability to at least knock down that 8 to 10 foot jump shot. Like, that's the thing, is I think that gets really annoying with Zion, is like, we never thought that he was going to be a guy who shot 4 threes a night. That was never going to be the thing. But it was, could you get the counter move? the one counter of being able, if they stop the dribble, can you go back to the other side and make something off glass? Or could you get the floater going if they got you to, before you could get into the heart of the defense? The inability to add those two things to me is way more egregious than not having a 3. Like, I think you could live with him not having a 3 if he had secondary moves, but there's nothing there other than throw the shot up there and hope that he can get you on the second jump. And like I said, he just doesn't look like the same explosiveness, and I think the thing with Giannis too is like that, like you said, the domination for Giannis. Zion also leads the league in this shot getting blocked more than anybody else, so that impacts it too. And he doesn't generate the offensive assists too, like for Giannis putting pressure on the rim, Giannis being able to go downhill. You're still getting assists because he's putting pressure on the rim. Zion's not giving you 6 assists anymore either.
And all defense. Like that's how, like, Giannis has made first team all defense, whatever, 6-7 times. Like that's
DPO wise, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it is crazy that he shoots 60% on that. Like that, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. Like I truly am amazed that he still is that efficient. When you could go take a hula hoop before the game and say, hey, if he shoots it, it's going to come from right about here. So just be prepared. And he still somehow makes 60% of them. It's incredible.
And none of that shit matter.
None of it matters.
That's why I hate stats, man. None of that shit matters.
Nerds have ruined basketball.
Man.
That's crazy, man. But I didn't know he led the league in his shot being blocked either, girl. But it makes sense on honestly how he plays. I realized Zion was delusional when Wemby blocked the first shot in that game that they played the Spurs in the first game, and then he got the rebound and he tried to lay it up again, and Wemby was still right there. And I was like,
you don't see him?
Yeah, like he just like fucking 7,000 feet tall, and like even if you body him, he still got 8,000 feet of arms.
He still boomed on him.
He boomed on him. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
But
he did. But
either way, like it's neither here nor there. I think the real point is like, I don't know why Zion hasn't wanted to develop his game.
He don't want to be great. I mean, I think it's an easy. I don't mean to cut you off, but I think it's an easy like mentality thing. Like I was having this conversation again at UNO, and Edwards, if I'm not mistaken, led the league in made threes last year, right?
Yeah.
And Edwards came in the league a dunker, and
he already hit 1,000.
He already hit
fastest.
1,000. The fastest, right? The fastest in NBA history.
He's like he's way ahead of Steph's pace at this. Like, it's just crazy.
And, you know what I'm saying? And you talk about a dude came in the league, one thing, right? Year one, he was a driver, he was a slasher, developed. He just developed. Like, say what you want about him. He developed, he got better. He want to be great. I'm looking at a dude who want to be great. I think Zion just cool. I think he cool with where he at. I got $200 million. Like, what else I need?
What's the problem with drafting dudes? The problem with drafting dudes who like being a good teammate. And when they drafted Anthony, like Chris Paul has never. I got just to compare the 3 number ones or the 3 biggest draftees. Chris Paul never cared about how anybody ever thought about it. Day one, I'm gonna run this. Anthony Davis has always been a dude who liked being a good teammate. You know what I mean? One of the guys. Yeah. Never acted like the guy, never demanded the responsibilities of the guy, but wanted the accolades and all the perks of being the guy. Zion, even at Duke, right? Zion at Duke, did all this stuff with Cam, did all this stuff with RJ, always talked about his teammates. And those guys are never the dude that take you to the championship. It's always the dude who either says nothing or says everything. You know what I mean? Like, he's either running his mouth constantly about how great he is, or he says nothing and just destroys people.
Yep.
And Zion is neither. Zion wants to be liked. Zion wants to be one of the guys. It's one thing to take the first game. I think we all thought it was a great thing when Zion said, yeah, I'll come off the bench if that's what coach needs. But when you do that 3 games in and you don't say, I'm ready to get back in, like at some point you can be assertive without being disrespectful. And he's never even been that. Like not even to the point where you're like, oh, he might be a little. No, it's not. He doesn't even do passive aggressive. Like there is no ulterior motives because I don't know if he has motives. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's happy to be here, and I don't think he is disrespectful of the game, but I don't think he understands. Like I don't think he gets it. What is generally required of him, like of greatness. Like you said, I don't think he gets that. I think I think he likes basketball. He likes being on the team. He likes being one of the guys. But that desire to be a winner, a champion at whatever it takes, it does not exist in that young man.
Nope.
I think greatness requires separation, and he's refusing to separate from whatever it is.
Yeah, he's him, bro. Like he is who he is, and this is who he gonna be. Like I often see people say, Zion get traded to a different team and he'll be. No, he won't. Be the same person. He just won't be the number one option on the team, which would actually be great for him and the team. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, Zion is Zion.
That's like anybody else. Like, has anybody truly gotten better when they've left the Pelicans? Like, look at Brandon. He's probably having. I think it's just about the same.
It's the same season.
Look at Dyson.
Worse from three.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at Dyson. Najee's pretty much the same. Just like, CJ. Like, what are we looking at?
Even the big guy. Probably. Go. I'm sorry, Ross.
I'll say, even Chris and Anthony Davis. I mean, those guys didn't get better. Those guys were first team All NBA superstars when they left here. They just have more team success other places.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's because the teams always suck you.
Yeah. And so I knew somebody was going to break up. No, look how many teams he had to go to get better. Right? Like, he was in Minnesota. At first, I think the Jazz passed up on him, right?
Yeah.
They let him rock. He ends up in Minnesota, and now he's in Atlanta. But I don't think that's because he, was playing terribly here, and they had to move on from him. Nah. I think he is who he is.
I think I think the problem. I think Nas' problem here was he had too much freedom. They was relying on all you heard about was his bag. They never made him do other things. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like I think he didn't give the Clippers 50.
Nearly 40, 30, 38, I believe. 38 or 40, one of those.
After that, all you heard was his bag, his bag, his bag. Like he is pretty much just shooting the ball better, but he's been on a team with better players. I think going to a team, going to play with Ant Edwards, going to play in a winning culture changes how you look at the game. And then going to Atlanta now, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, Dyson is stealing money. So,
shout out to Dyson.
Last question, man. Do you guys think Zion's 30 points is like the Joker's? No. We could just stop right there.
In the show.
No, I don't. I don't. So the Pelicans play Tuesday, I think. Let me see. I think they play Tuesday. Let me see. Pelicans schedule.
That's Tuesday at home against the Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, Lord.
Back to back. They got home against the Lakers and then on the road to Atlanta. Back to backs.
Luka probably gonna have 70. It's gonna be a terrible night, Luke. Good God, man. Well, for us, shout out to the people that stayed. You got 133 people still here. I still don't know what the like said, but
the like button before you leave, man.
I'm gonna just trust y'all. Hit the like button before you leave, man. Shout out to Uptown Kid. One more month until the trade deadline. We'll see what's gonna happen with this team. For me, for Grubb, for Ross, for Five, for Chris, and Justin and Lala, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all Tuesday. Peace.
What's up, everybody? This is Ross from Propels Talk. Just wanted to tell you about a little deal from the Game Time app. You can get $20 off your first purchase using our promo code PELS. The app's incredible. I've been using it a bunch. All the fees are included. You get great deals on seats, last-minute deals. You get a view of your seat. It's I think, the best last-minute ticketing app there is out there. So use our promo code PELS to get $20 off your first purchase, and go Pels.